This is the One Piece Podcast, episode 904 for the week of Monday, February 2nd, 2026. My name is Zach.
And my name is Ed.
And my name is Alex.
And on today's show, we have returning contributor Jill Knight with us. How's it going, Jill?
It's going great. It is currently 74 degrees here in California. Next week we're going into the 80s. So I hope everyone's having a great February 1st.
Yes. It got above 30 here today. So that was nice.
we got out of the negative temperatures in the morning today, so I'm happy about that.
I guess we're just we haven't even got. I don't think we've gotten to the negatives. I think the lowest it's been is 4 Fahrenheit. But I think we got to like -2. I mean the -5 here. We got to -5, but whatever.
My sister went on vacation to Orlando, and she said that she was still wearing a winter coat, even though it's warmer than it is here.
Well, we also have from Texas. We have Golfer Gear with us. How's it going, Golfer?
Going great. It's a pretty cold 52 here, if we want to round out the weather update.
Yeah, we have
That's shorts weather.
It's perfect because it makes the podcast age well. Although I did say the date at the top, so and everyone could relate. Everyone, because they all live in all the places we do. Anyway, today on the One Piece Podcast, we're going through chapter 1172. The title of which I should have had open, but I don't. It is the Elbaf I Dreamed of, which sounds like I don't know, like a crooner song or something. But before we get into that, first I want to go through a little bit of news because this surprised me. It's a little different than our usual news. Once again, real life news. And I hate real life news for so many reasons, but here we are with One Piece real life news. And the title of this article from NJ.com, New Jersey, what that refers to, is Rutgers Arena burglarized after anime trading card giveaway at basketball game. So folks may remember we talked about
Steve's whereabouts unknown at the time.
No, Steve's got an alibi now. It's
Oh, has he actually got an alibi? Oh no, yeah, no, the saga ended. I forgot about that. Yeah.
It did, yeah. Check out Sungwon's channel for more details.
ProZD plays games, yeah. If you want to see how the saga ends. I was shocked that it did end. I thought that would just be like a grudge that Steve held against the Dodgers ad infinitum.
Oh, but what happened?
What happened? So authorities at Rutgers University are trying to find whoever's responsible. Oh, this is great. For stealing collector cards from a locked office at Jersey Mike's Arena, following Tuesday's men's basketball game.
Wow. Sounds like someone tried to have it Mike's way.
All fans who entered the game Tuesday in Piscataway received a voucher for a One Piece trading card. The collectible cards based on the anime series One Piece were handed out at 2 locations in the building.
Someone put an APB on Danny DeVito, right?
That's right. He does the Jersey Mike's commercials.
Oh, he does. Yeah.
Apparently he grew up in Asbury Park and went to the original Jersey Mike's.
No shit.
I recall Jersey Mike's is actually okay. I haven't been to one in a very long time.
Jersey Mike's fucking rules.
Okay.
They have good cheesesteak, actually.
Yeah.
It's owned by private equity now. Obviously everything that I'm saying is not like, I'm not getting paid for it. I'm not like an actor.
Actually, my favorite thing about them is they actually have like crispy bacon as opposed to like that limp deli bacon like Subway has.
Subway is the bottom of the barrel.
Subway's so sad, man.
Yeah. Subway blows. But really Jersey Mike's is great. They will, if you get a cheesesteak, they grill all the stuff for the cheesesteak. Like they grill the jalapenos.
Okay,
like, on the grill.
Alex, we're not getting paid for this. Please stop.
I know, but Jersey Mike's is really good, guys. It's really fucking good.
I know it's good, but I'm not.
We discovered it for the first time during paternity leave, and we were doing all sorts of DoorDash. And Jersey Mike's is something that I can't believe I didn't, go for.
I think I've had it once or twice, but I also can't eat cheesesteaks more than once or twice in a long while.
Well, you can get a cold cut.
Yes, but
the cold cuts are good.
I'm
Alex,
going to be
getting paid?
I wish.
I'm an entitled New Yorker, and I'm gonna get like a cold cut from like a real cold cut place.
Okay,
Or
that's
like
fine. If
like
I lived in New York,
a
I
deli
would,
or something. Yeah.
if I worked in New York City, I would also. Sorry to dox you. I would also go to a bodega.
If they find me, New York City is a small place. They'll find me.
It's true.
I have run into people who listen and stuff in the city. Not often, but it's happened. Anyway, the game between Rutgers and Michigan State ended and announced it was a Tuesday before an announced sellout crowd of 8,000. So
Jesus.
I am assuming
A lot of Michigan State fans.
either a lot of Michigan State fans or Steve Yurko bought a lot of tickets up.
Go green, go white.
This kind of thing is just absolutely crazy. They have a tip line, but I'm not going to do that to these people.
Wouldn't have to play it in front of people who actually are from New Jersey.
Based off how crazy card scalpers have gotten,
Yes,
or tracking, like people putting air tags on the delivery trucks for the Pokemon vending machines, like the people who restock them. I wouldn't be surprised at all if someone like staked out the arena, lived in the rafters for a week, because I want to say the Dodgers cards for the Loopy's Dodger card is selling for like hundreds of dollars, and some people came in and got 20 of those from that game.
Yeah, I was there, man, and let me tell you, the amount of people who were just there for the Dodgers game and had no idea how much those cards are worth. Man, I was talking to this woman, she's just like, "Oh yeah, this guy gave me $20 for it. I was just gonna give it to him for free because he wanted it for his brother, but he insisted on giving me those $20. This other woman was like, "Yeah, I dropped it somewhere," and I was like, my god!
His brother's name is
dropped
eBay.
$400 worth of cards.
Yeah, well,
my brother
I've got
eBay,
my two.
lowercase e, capital B. That's a Futurama joke. I'll give it to them. I was talking to my wife about this, and it's like, it's really a shame because the One Piece thing I don't collect are the cards, and that's the one thing that actually is really probably the most worthwhile money-wise.
I know everything else I've collected since I was 13-year-old is worth nothing,
waste.
Pennies. But these fucking cards, man! Oh, open a pack.
Golfer, which
Congratulations!
One you're showing us?
It's the Art Rare Black Maria one.
Oh wow!
This is I went to a card show to help my buddy sell his childhood Pokemon card collection, and found the Art Rare. I can't stand buying stuff off TCG Player anymore. When it shows up as a loose card in an envelope, I lose my mind. So now I just wait for card shows to come around and then get everything that I need.
That's nice. Is that one graded, or did you just like it because of the art, or because you like collect them and sell them and stuff?
Really like the art. I used to sell a ton of cards on TCG Player, so that's why I get really mad about people's lack of standards.
I should have saved some of the Yu-Gi-Oh cards I got from my Shonen Jump subscription for years.
I still have those somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yu-Gi-Oh printed every card into the ground. They've basically got no value, which is good, so people can actually play the game. But I stick a mic on it for my TikTok videos.
Oh, that's funny.
It's my little way to hold my microphone.
I think I've seen you do that now that I'm thinking about it. What was I gonna say? I think I made this joke last time, but since our generation doesn't really have pensions and 401ks as much, this is really this is the Gen Z investing for your retirement. Except that you probably have to sell it pretty quick because who knows how long this is actually going to last.
It's going to turn into stamp collections. That's the thing.
Well,
you think you're going to be set.
It's kind of wild. It's kind of like Beanie Babies, but it actually does make some people money.
That's what annoyed me because I did collect Beanie Babies and it didn't turn into anything. I sold them. It was like $80 for like a whole ton of them. Like what is happening? I was told those would be worth millions. Maybe that explains my hesitancies.
We should do an episode at some point about the cards. I feel like when we have an off week, one week, we should get some people on who are really knowledgeable about this.
100%. Actually, I'll put the APB out there if that's a thing people say. That if you're really into the card game, or people who are, or prominent people who are like card game enthusiasts and knowledgeable about that, please let me know. I am so not in that world, so I often feel like we're not doing a good job representing that demographic, which is huge, and I'm aware of that.
I know that Steve collects the cards too, and we would be remiss if we didn't have him on the episode.
Yeah, but Steve has enough podcasts to do. Like that's why you think he's not here. He's probably doing 6 other podcasts right now, I assume.
I mean,
or he's in Japan. One or the other.
At some point, he'll be in Japan pretty soon.
I don't. he's been going everywhere. He's having fun and taking off from the podcast. I don't like it. Before we get into the show, you could check us out at patreon.com/OnePiecePodcast. If you subscribe for $12 a month, you get access to our Sticker of the Month crew, where you get to vote on a new sticker every month. Assuming that Steve is available, the poll should be up this week for the February one. For the February sticker. The January sticker, as we mentioned, was the Vegapunk Matryoshka doll picture, which is fantastic. That's one of my favorites from Steve. We also made a couple of announcements on our Patreon as to upcoming guests, including Mr. Golfergair, our TikTok extraordinaire here.
I was looking back through some of our old art, and I remembered what my favorite one was. I think it was the Animal Crossing Pirates that Maddie did with Tom Nook as Kaido and Big Bomb Isabel.
Can you guess when that was drawn? What year?
2020?
Oh, yeah. I was being somewhat facetious, but yes. We also announced this month that we're going to have reporter Isaiah Colbert on, Roger Space, and Dr. Bentlin will be joining us again. And also actually, as you're listening to this, you could also check out Quest for the Best. I was on that podcast this week talking about Orb on the movements of the Earth, and I
thought you meant the episode of Venture Brothers.
Yes, I went on just to talk about that one episode of the Venture Brothers. I was talking about that series, and I could have really gone on for much longer. As you know, if you listen to this podcast, I can't shut up. I have so much to say. Or I should say we can't shut up, but it's also me.
Today we're actually here to talk about One Piece, the manga.
Are we?
Yes.
When did this?
And there's
I
no.
wanted to talk about Witch Hat Atelier.
And there's no break next week.
There isn't?
I think there's a new chapter in 7 days. That's what the app says.
There is?
Oh, wow. Forget the Super Bowl, folks.
Yeah, is that next week?
It is.
Okay.
So I may or may not be on next week. We'll see.
Well, you could do what you did for the Oscars that one year and give us live reporting.
Like, keep... Yeah. Guys, you won't believe this commercial that you probably saw last week on Instagram.
Yeah.
Golfer, to tell you, he had the Oscars on in the background while he was recording, a thing I would not suggest guests to do usually, except that was also the year that Will Smith slapped a certain someone.
Chris Rock. He slapped Chris Rock.
Chris Rock, yeah.
A certain someone like Chris Rock.
A certain someone, Alex. I don't know why.
I did admit that one time I was watching football in the background while we were recording because my fantasy team was up against the wall on a Sunday
you told
evening.
me. Yeah, you told me that. I remember. Hey, if it's muted, I don't care. And we're not in the days where you have a CRT TV and it makes a noise in the background, and or you have Skype and it does. Anyway, let's get into the show. Let's talk about Chapter 1172. Right after this. This is the manga recap for chapter 1172, The Elbaf I Dreamed Of. You can read this chapter and all chapters as soon as they come out at shonenjump.viz.com or mangaplus.shueisha.co.jp. Ed, where could the good people... Well, I'm skipping ahead to the end. What's on the cover? What's on the author's comment?
Sure. Oda says this week, I saw quokkas for the first time in my life. Their size didn't match what I assumed from the internet. And quokkas are a Australian marsupial who are very cute and roughly raccoon-sized, I think.
Oh, they're that big?
I wonder if he was expecting something capybara-sized.
Maybe we're going to see him in Elbaf, and that's how big he expects.
But they live on islands off the west coast of Australia by Perth.
Oh, they're Western Australia.
Yeah.
We should have had Mel on this week. Since she also lives in Australia. She could tell us more.
Yeah. I did post a little quokka gif in the Discord chat. It's very cute.
Yeah, they look like a little kind of koala.
Yeah, they are big. I'm seeing photos now. They're way bigger than I thought.
They look tiny to me at first, but I guess I was only skimming.
No, that's what the
I think they're more raccoon-sized than squirrel-sized.
Yeah, I think you're right. I guess it depends.
I guess it depends on the raccoons and squirrels
and the ages of the raccoons and squirrels.
Yeah.
Like, if it's a squirrel that lives inside of a giant hammer on a giant island, I don't think it's that big.
Yeah. And what's this zoo that you posted in the Discord chat, Zach?
Oh, that was just my guess as to probably where he saw it. There's a Tokyo Zoo that has quokkas. That's my assumption. But also, he could have been in Western Australia. That's possible.
Oh, yeah. You posted, the Saitama Children's Zoo.
Well, we don't have to dox Oda at the Saitama Children's Zoo, where he lives. You know what? To be fair, he totally would. He 100% would. If, like, he could live at like, a place, a children's zoo feels high on that list. That would feel like he'd thrive there. Anyway, Ed, what's going on the cover page?
Sure. Let's see. We got a reader request for Swans Helping Themselves to Bon Clay's Makeup by Pizza Maru, who sounds like a fucking lame Naruto character.
Sounds like the best Naruto character. I would have continued watching Naruto if Pizza Maru was the main character.
I agree with Jill. That's correct.
Listen, power of friendship, fuck that. Bring me a slice, bro.
The
Let's
power
talk
of
it
pizza.
out.
Yeah.
Orochimaru's non-anemic brother, his Italian brother.
Pizza Maru?
Pizza Maru. Oh my god, make this a series.
The swans are all made up.
The one wearing Luffy's hat is eating the lipstick.
Yeah, one is wearing incredible. A crown. Others are wearing like those headbands like Bon Clay.
Yeah,
like Bon
Is
Clay
it supposed to be Bon Clay, even Kav, and Luffy?
So are they supposed to be characters? I thought they were just stealing his stuff.
I don't know.
Maybe he has a little straw hat there, but I don't know. Maybe.
Well, he's eating it. I mean, Luffy would eat lipstick. Let's be super real here. Luffy would go into a Lush store and he would eat the soap. The reason there are signs at Lush stores saying "Don't eat the soap" is because of people like Luffy.
Yeah, Jill.
If it was shaped like meat, he would.
Is that one Ivankov? It's got the little crown, but I don't think that's.
I mean, I don't know.
It just has a crown. There's no way to.
Well, swans are very regal creatures. The condo association where I live has basically they rent swans and they live in the pond out behind my house.
They rent them?
Apparently,
like
that's
renting a panda.
Basically, yeah.
Rent a panda.
Wait, so is Bon Clay renting swans?
And
they stole his makeup.
He would,
yeah.
But also swans generally kind of dicks. They're like in the goose family. I love birds.
Well, yeah, they're eating his makeup. Clearly,
100%.
Yeah. So all I'm saying, Bon Clay, watch out behind you. You're about to get attacked, especially since you're wearing 2 dead swans on your back, I assume.
And his feet.
I don't think they're dead. I think they're alive.
That would definitely make it more interesting.
Oh, devil fruit shoes. That's what it's been this whole time.
Look, we have a squirrel hammer. We can't also have swan shoes that are living.
Yes, we can.
Oh, shit. You're right.
Anyway, great to see Bon Clay.
Yeah, I was very happy to see
our friend. Oda can still draw him.
And I will say,
he's still an impel down.
I'm 99% sure that this is because he is working on season 3 right now, and he is top of mind, and he's like, "Ooh, I get to draw Bon Clay." Yeah.
The swans are the newest commas.
They are. It's true.
Yeah, Ed, let's start the chapter. Yeah.
Yes, we start with a wide shot or a zoom out from Elbaf. We see we sort of hear the lift escalating to the sun world, and our heroes are having a discussion, and Mr. Ya is saying, "Our foes number 3, and their mission is to kidnap 10 giant children. They mean to take the children to the Holy Land and use them as hostages to coerce warriors of Elbaf into being their battle slaves."
Alex, I've been watching too much Sesame Street because the way I've read it is our foes number 3. We must defeat number 3. Thank you, Ed.
Yeah.
I know that was the count, which Eliza does perfectly now, so we're at that stage of development,
nice.
Able to do the count laugh. No lightning or thunder, though, unfortunately. Yeah, please continue.
And Hyridin continues, "How can a mere trio of humans run rampant over both the giant pirates and Mr. Ya? And is this Gerd?"
No, it's Ya. I mean, Gaban.
It's Gaban.
Yeah.
He's being held, I think, in Gerd's hand.
Yes.
Yeah. And he says, "I'm sorry, I failed you, plain and simple." And Sanji interjects, "You say children, but these are giants, right?" How are 3 humans our size going to carry these giant kids? And Gaban continues, the woman of the trio has a strange power using arrows. It seems that wherever these arrows point, the children are helpless to resist them. Gunko, obviously. He continues, they are walking ceaselessly toward the port in the western village, which apparently has stairs that lead directly to a ship. If they get to the boat, they can lose us at sea, and then it's all over. That's the true endpoint of the situation.
I like how Sanji's complaining about being able to lift a bunch of giant kids, but I've seen Zoro lift a house 2 years ago in One Piece time. So
in Alabasta.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on now, Sanji. Size hasn't really mattered in a long time when it comes to stuff like this. I guess, though, it would be just unwieldy. Like, you'd have to pile the children together.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Also, children are chaotic elements on their own. That is... A house isn't gonna, try and, wrestle out of that situation.
Well, I imagine it's like when you're moving and you're picking up a box that's, dimensionally too big for your arms. It's not too heavy, but it's, awkward to hold.
Yes.
How are you going to hold a giant kid? You've got the strength, but...
Yeah,
your arms work.
And if there's one thing, which I'm sure we'll discuss about more in this episode, is that Zoro doesn't really... Or many... I don't really think any of these people probably have, the most, sensitivity and dexterity and well, no, I take that back. That's completely wrong. Jill.
Yes, as they continue the explanation, Roto asks, but if that's all, then why can we not simply take back the children?
One does not simply take back the children.
As Gavan explains, one of the 3 is a man named Summers. I know him, unfortunately.
Yeah.
True. A man with the powers of the thorn fruit. As a thorn man, he makes free use of vicious, spiky vines. Man, this guy has such a punchable face. Every time he's on screen, it's just wow. Can't wait for him to get what's coming to him.
He already has once or twice, but the immortal thing. But yes, I do.
Well,
I
that
do
just,
more.
means more punches will be coming.
I mean, we had one in the flashback and one in the present day, and I want more punches.
Yes. It says he can make them invisible too, and has wrapped them around the children.
Especially my child, apparently.
my normal-sized child. As Gert goes, and that means we can't pick them up? How sadistic. And they're as hard as steel. If we interfere with the line of children, they'll bump into each other. And then there's just, little children getting stabbed in this little infographic.
She compares them to hedgehogs, which are not sharp.
Yeah, I was I feel
fuzzy.
like...
Evangelion fans in the house? It's the hedgehog's dilemma.
Well, yeah, but porcupines. Anyway, we'll take that up with Steven, and also probably Oda. Go ahead.
Well, he learned about quokkas, not hedgehogs.
That's the issue.
That's the issue here.
That's the issue.
We'll have to wait.
Quokkas and hedgehogs. I tell you.
Different things.
Yep.
Shocking, but different.
Yep.
And then he replies, on top of that, the final member of the trio is most likely manifesting nightmares as real creatures. The children's greatest fears have come to life to prevent any attempt to save them. Who's speaking here? Is it still Mr. Ya? Yeah. The irony is, the children are simply walking in a line in broad daylight, but we're unable to do a thing to help them, and we have been for a long-ass time now at this point. All due to the game created by 3 powers working together. As Hiruden's not so! We will save them! And as we are still zooming up to the tree, seems quicker to aim for the 3 causing all the problems. You say they're immortal, but there has to be a way to stop them, like trapping them in something, or crushing them.
Oh, that's Goldberg
or
talking.
eating them. Yeah.
It sounded like Dr. Evil or Goldmember, right? Is that the one who kind of sounds a little like that? Go ahead.
And then, yes, I agree with that. As someone shouts, "We're nearly up to the sun world." And then they all look up in preparation as they chunk and land.
I do like two things I want to just note in this page. I like the upside down boat at the top of the gondola thing. I didn't notice that until this chapter. I also like, I don't know if this hit anyone else, how ridiculous these freaking powers are, like particularly ridiculous when they're all listed in a row like this. Like, this is way more complicated than it needs to be. I feel like.
Let's just kick their ass. How did we think of that before?
Yeah, this is very One Piece is very silly. Like fights here.
It's like you're trying to summarize the plot of something that makes no sense in like a page.
I want to see Gear 5 Luffy fight these weirdos.
He's got thorns, but they're invisible. And you can't hold them, or you get stabbed, and the kids will stab each other. Yeah.
This is kids on the playground.
And he's a dick.
I have thorns, 100%. But they're invisible thorns, so you can't move now.
Infinity
anyway,
plus 1 thorns.
Well, when they get to the top, they see that Eric is on fire, tilted over. There's a giant serpent and a knight on fire. They look like they're running into each other, but they're all kind of colluding. And then Hajrudin is absolutely flabbergasted at the sight of the serpent. He says, "It's beyond anything I imagined. There's no limit to these nightmare monsters. Look over there. Is that the great Eric?" And we see at the bottom in like a 60% panel with just all of the different monsters running around with the knight and the giant dragon and a lion that looks like it has a flower for a face. And it's also flying, a big cyclops. And then I missed this the first time, but now I actually just noticed it. The dark Nika, like it looks like Luffy, but he has the sword and the shield in hand.
Yeah, the imagined Nika, yeah.
Which has popped up a few times in there. Like, we've seen it kind of in the background, but I don't think we've ever seen that specific nightmare doing anything yet. So I'm interested to see if that ever pops up. And then a thundercloud that kind of looks like a cheeky Zeus.
Not as high, but yeah.
I love that it looks like the cloud is using the lightning as like spider legs.
Yeah, I think we talked about that 6 months ago. But yeah.
Wow.
I can't find the kid's mom anywhere. That
was one of my favorites.
Well,
the bear is
One Piece,
amazing.
no mothers will stay alive.
That's true. Even the nightmare mom. The bear in the middle, incredible. Love it. That's my favorite.
When I was reading this chapter this morning, I had the dumbest thought where I was like, wow, it's kind of nice that none of these monsters are just the two kids, like the kids, like two parents arguing. Like, it's all like manifested fears, and it's not like it's confirming it's domestic bliss on Elbaf, and nobody's just like upset with each other.
I guess that's the
fear in the back of your head. Like, your mom yelling at you is still scary, but you know.
Yeah, good for these kids for having solid nightmares and not like, oh,
how old are they? They're
dysfunctional families and the fear of not eating. Like, how would you manifest the fear of hunger?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I also want to note that I find it interesting that the Nidhogger is so front and center, given the theory that kind of came out of our episode 900 recap, where we talked about that potentially being Loki's fruit. It's very front and center here.
Like, yeah, it's definitely getting telegraphed.
Like Hajrudin staring straight at it.
Yeah,
it being in its own separate panel.
And Nidhogger.
I think it's just Nidhogg, right? It's just no R at the end. Nidhogger.
Nidhogg? I don't know. Now I have to look it up. I thought it was Nidhogg. No, because I think that it was hogging the Nids was the joke we made. But okay, I don't know. Go ahead.
And Gabon says Dorian Broggy's crew was on board, but the monsters downed the ship as they fought back. See, the Eric is really taking a beating at this point. Hajrudin says, unthinkable. And I can't remember this guy's name, but he's all bloody and he's a giant. Oh, it's Kashi. It's literally right there. And he says, is that Hajrudin? Like, Kashi, Hajrudin responds, Kashi, you're alive? We've been down in the underworld.
Hajrudin.
Tell us what's happening. You guys say Hajrudin?
Hajrudin, right? Isn't that what we said? Or maybe I'm wrong.
No,
maybe I'm wrong.
Is it?
You're right. It's Hajrudin. All the J's are kind of like,
I know it's Jarl, but
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's
No,
hard
I
to
just
believe.
don't want people to yell at you from the internet on the internet.
That's
am trying
fine.
to
They've
avoid
yelled at
you.
me about mispronunciations before. You should hear how they say what they think about how I say Gon in Hunter x Hunter. But it's hard to believe. But I'll try to explain.
Alex.
Captains Dory and Bruggy are gonna kill Chief Yarul, and we have this really great panel of the. Hey, remember Dory and Bruggy? They got Domi reversied. Well, here they are again, and they're laying waste to those beautiful buildings that we.
We're marveling.
We marveled at the beginning of the arc, unfortunately. And we hear, you have to stop them. Everyone's gone completely mad. And these regular-sized giants are running away from Dory Broggy and all the rest of the reversied giant pirates here. And we're back with Kashi and Harridan's crew. And Gerd says, what about the children, Kashi? And Kashi lets us know that Ripley's got a group chasing after them, but they hadn't heard any word about their success or not. They should have reached the port by now, he says. Oh, and you, Roto. And he goes, duh, what about me? And we sort of do a little quick jump. And he goes, oh, Bjorn's there. I have to go. And he basically runs full tilt and says, my brother is one of the hostages. So yeah, Roto's kid brother is...
Oh, why did I not put two and two together? That was one of the kids.
Is one of the kids who's in danger. So looks like Gerd and Goldberg are going to follow him. And Sanji goes, hey, Kashi, which way is the school? Apparently Nami's group is near it, of course. And Kashi says, see that fire? That's the school and the library burning. And Sanji's like, why are they on fire? And Zoro just says, you see that Dory and Broggy have gone mad? And we hear, that's right. So basically, you know, our crew is getting caught up to the stuff that we already kind of knew. Next page.
I'm going to fall on the sword here and take the map page, the one with all the diagrams and little cute faces on it.
Good luck, sir.
The big veiny branch.
Yeah, we talked about the very phallic, extremely phallic branch route 8, I'm sure, in the past. And boy, is it phallic. Have I mentioned that? I can't get over it. Someone mentioned this to us 6 months ago, and I can't unsee it. So we have Kashi saying, please, you must hurry. Chief Yarl's life is in danger. I don't know why that's the voice I gave him just now, but there you go. And we get a full map, which is helpful, if not disturbing. And we have little faces for, I don't know what you want to call this crew, but Roto, Stanson, Hyrudan, Gerd, Goldberg, Zoro, Sanji, Chopper, and Gaban, who have just exited on the lift. Was it called the gondola? I forget. But interesting to know, you know, we know it's next to the main part of the trunk of the tree. And so this is kind of jutting out from that. Why does it have to look so phallic? And we see the school and library on fire. And that is where we find the Walrus School and the Owl Library. Why did I say it like that? Which are on fire. And we see this, I forget who this is specifically looking at it in the pending wreckage here. Some of the teachers, the one with the glasses, I think. I forgot her name. Oh, I know this. Oh, this is going to kill me, whatever. Internet, you'll tell me later. And then we go a little bit further up the shaft to see Saul. A little bit further up the branch, we see by the library the Straw Hat Crew. You know them from such series as One Piece. You have Robin, her back to the reader here, saying the library is burning. Jinbei noting that Chopper's still not back, and Brook got some kind of idea in his head and ran off. Interesting.
Is he going to freeze the fire?
I think it's going to be Gunko related.
I thought it was Gunko related, yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I think that's what they're kind of hinting at there. Nami, yelling about the fact that they're taking the children and to get the arrows off of me, which I'm assuming she means the thorns. Oh no, they're wrapped in arrows. Yeah, that makes sense. And Usopp says, "Damn, I never want to see Master Dory and Master Brogy like that. His dreams are being crushed before our eyes." Then off to the side of the branch, we have the Domi Reversi troop, including Dory and Evil Brogy, yelling, "Kill Jarl, kill Jarl."
I am Evil Dory.
Okay. And everyone like, "Captains, come to your senses. Come on, what are you doing? You're big and evil with big wings, but come on, what are you doing?" I don't know why that happened either. Under the power of the Domi Reversi, the giant pirates head for the Western Village. So we head all the way over toward the Western Village where Jarl is at the moment. The rescue team is also heading there close behind the Domi Reversi, which includes Oimo and it is Ripley. I figured it out. And the rest heading for the kids and yelling to get the monsters out of the way. And the hostage children, which are heading toward a port to the side of the Western Village. The port is in cloud.
Sea, and there are stairs down to the ship, the kidnap ship.
Yes, the kidnapping ship.
Right.
Not the ship is fine. The ship was not kidnapped. Don't worry.
Right.
And we see the hostage children. Everyone in the back saying, "Oh, we're gonna be at the port soon. Oh no." And Colin is like, "Don't whine. We're warriors of Elbaf." And someone is like, "No, we're not." And finally, in the Western Village, it's time to flee. Except that Jarl will not flee. He has to stay because he has something he'd like to say. Alex?
We see click. So this is the transponder snail that broadcasts all throughout Elbaf. It's being picked up by Jarl, who says, "Hear me, Elbaf. I wish to tell you everything before I die." And we hear, "Is that Chief? Hey, is that Chief Jarl?"
Yes, why? Yes, it is.
Somebody's just on the can. They hear this. "Our old liege, wise King Harold, wished to bring Elbaf into the world government so that we might coexist with the rest of the world." See, possessed Gunko is just sort of like got this word balloon here, and over the course of the next couple pages, we sort of we're going to see Orest Castle. We're going to see some giants fighting these sleeptids, as well as the Domi Reversi giants. And he says, "But on that fateful day 14 years ago, he was betrayed and denied his wish. I witnessed a demon slaughter Harold and the rest of his soldiers."
It's like how Darth Vader killed Anakin Skywalker.
Yep, exactly.
Jill would
What
know.
I told you was true from a certain point of view. He continues here. "Harold resisted bending the knee and handing over Elbaf to the demon. He fought and he died." And then we see these giants who are like, "What? I thought Loki killed the king." And we see some more giants fighting what looks to be a giant bulldog sleeptid here. And Jarl continues, "But if people learn the truth, they would rise up in vengeance and become the warfaring nation that Harold did not desire. So I held my silence. Loki, meanwhile, bore the rage of the nation upon his back and took to the sea. He may be a tactless man, but Loki is innocent." And this catches a lot of giants completely off guard.
What?
What? And Zoro is pretty tickled by this, and he goes, "A bit inaccurate, but a nice turn of phrase." And Harridan goes, "Nicer than he deserves."
Call for
And then we jump into a big spread of the three holy knights. Gunko in the middle, still emu possessed. And then Summers
She
and
is
Killingham.
pantless. Repeat, pantsless.
And then Killingham and Summers. Killingham looks like he's in an action pose, but Summers looking lazy as usual.
Killingham also pantless.
Summers showed up pantsless.
Fur count
now it's
how
pants.
would Killingham wear pants if he could wear pants?
And
It's
hey,
the-
you know, the first time we see Summers, he's not wearing pants.
Yeah, no
This
pants.
is true.
Hmm.
Oh
The
man,
motto of these guys is, "Hey, don't you hate pants?"
that's the
Knights
real
of-
world
the Knights
government.
of
Because that's
God.
the world below, you know?
Well, I'm trying to remember the Kramer line from Seinfeld, but yeah, whatever that is. Yeah, go ahead.
And we've got, I believe that's Dory and Bragi underneath Gunko, and we see some drawings in the background of some of the nightmares that are still walking amongst Elbath.
Yeah, they're on fire.
I do appreciate that it kind of seems like Oda was like, sweet, I get to like half-assedly draw these because they're technically like underbaked nightmares coming out of kids' heads. And he says, but today, it seems that though they had given up initially, they once again require our massive power, and thus 3 demons have come back in an attempt to take over our country. And Summer says, yawn, I could take a nap and still complete the mission at this point. Jarl says, listen up, you devils. If you spare the children's lives, we will freely give up our culture and history. But if you think you've broken our spirit, you are sorely mistaken. Do not
And that's that teacher you were thinking of, Zach, right there on the bottom.
Yeah, I need to look.
And is that Runya?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good memory there. Yeah.
Do not expect Harold's patience from us. You think you can rule over us and enslave us? Who do you think you're talking to? We see some like giants that have kind of hit the deck, probably exhausted from fighting. We see the school and the library on fire. And then we see Gunko at that last panel with her eyes still looking crazy. Says, I'm sorry, children. I must ask you to cover your ears now. And we see Usopp screaming, that's right, Jarl, you tell him the Elbath I've dreamed of doesn't bow to anyone. And then he says, if the world is destined to be split in two, as the Harley's prophecy suggests.
Then we get a close-up on his face. Then Elbath shall be an enemy to the world government. As we get the shot of Gunko floating there
I'm
silently.
so happy Usopp finally got this moment to talk about the Elbath of his dreams.
You know, everyone else having a bad time. Usopp might be having a good time, to be honest. He kind of just watching this.
No one's having as good a time as Zoro's about to have, it looks like. But yeah, please continue.
As Jarl continues, did you think that thorns, reverse eye, and illusions would cause us to submit to your yoke? Yeah, Zoro. I like that old man. He's just laughing, having a great time. 3 centuries ago, he was the strongest man on the sea, as Hyrutin explains. And then it's like all the giants have gotten a second wind here listening to their chief. We will never give in to your rule. Am I wrong, all you proud warriors of Elbath? You're damn right, Chief Jarl. I love that guy. And Usopp, the Elbath I love is back. As Nami, who, ever practical in this situation, fine, just think of a way to undo these arrows.
See, Nami is used to Sanji having these hurt eyes in her direction and does not like them projected outward anywhere else, I think, is the real concern. It just is odd to see it facing the other direction. I'm like, that is a Sanji face Usopp is making. Yeah, please continue.
Usopp loves Elbath as much as Sanji loves the ladies.
Usopp's a total simp for Elbath.
He is.
Horny for Elbath.
I'm not writing that down.
Slut for Elbath.
Slut for that'll write down.
Then we get this awesome shot of Jarl in the middle, the sane giants of Elbath behind him, backing him up, and meanwhile Dory and Bragi reverse-side bringing their weapons down. As Jarl shouts, "Protect the peace that Harold envisioned." as everyone moves together with a big rah. We've caught up. Watch out they don't trap you between them. And then Zoro, I've got a plan. It's very Dressrosa against Pika Zoro here. Throw him again.
Yes.
I've got a plan. It involves swords. I'm going to cut shit.
Yeah, can we all agree it is whatever the plan is, it is not well thought out, and he is going extremely headstrong into something, and it's not going to be badass at all, potentially. It will either be incredibly badass or really stupid, and maybe both.
I'm just hoping it is badass that he like actually uses Conqueror's Haki consciously, and after
who was the guy who threw Zoro in Dressrosa? Was that Elizabello?
Orlumbus is not here.
Oh, right.
He's having a good time on his ship, as we've all seen.
Folding laundry. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
As I'd mentioned earlier, we're not off next week. So I'll start with you, Golfer. What were your thoughts on this week's chapter?
I thought it's fine. It felt like a recap episode of a chapter, which I kind of feel like we probably needed on the way back. I think one of the cool things is we usually get the maps of what people are doing. That was a real fun way to kind of connect and show everything that was going on rather than just the faces of the maps and then like a panel on the next page. So I thought that was some pretty cool paneling that Oda did. I think art-wise, I wish Oda would read a little bit of Bleach so we can get a little bit of negative space. This is about as busy as I feel like One Piece has ever been on page. And like there's a whole lot of stuff going on, but I'd like a little more highlighting of like at least maybe I'm too close to the forest to see the trees kind of thing right now.
The tree, it's one tree.
to see the one tree. But I'm really excited with the cheeky Zoro smile, and I've got a plan. I'm pretty sure he's grabbing Enma, right? That's the little flower. I feel like with the anime, I always use the colors to really figure out which sword he was grabbing. So whatever his plan is going to be hilarious, and I'm excited for it. And I'm excited to see the Straw Hats back in action. We had that. However, what was it? I think it was 13 or 14 chapters of Flashback. It's nice to be back. It's nice to get back on the track of kind of what we're trying to accomplish here. Because before we left, it felt like a whole bunch of disparate stuff was going on, especially with like the fires at the school and what's going on with Brooke. We put it all together, and now it's time to get moving forward. And I'm wondering, I think the one thing that I'm still like trying to figure out is, did Brooke like astral project out, or did he somehow get out of those thorns because he's made of bone and it doesn't hurt him? It's like it poked my skin. I don't have any skin
because he wasn't there at all.
Yeah, if it was just his soul, I think like his body would be like laying there or something.
We'd see it like propped up against Jinbei.
Yeah, his mouth is like a gape. Usually, he looks like an actual dead guy. Any other thoughts, Golfer?
No.
Alex.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. For a chapter that is sort of a recap chapter more than anything else, I liked it. Mostly because we get to see friends that we haven't seen in a while again. I think Oda had a real fun time drawing all those sleep dids. And hey, his favorite thing in the world, a map. Where would One Piece be without these maps that sum up exactly where this arc is going? Really, this is basically, Jarl's speech was the highlight of this chapter, I think. Made me fist bump anyway, or fist pump, rather. This is the first time we've seen him, probably since the Big Mom flashback, we've seen him not be sort of senile or, sort of just an old man. It's really nice because we've seen like this entire arc, we've seen Elbaf sort of kowtow to what these guys are doing, and this is just a real act of resistance against these three foes just by words alone, and I love it so much. Zoro's plan is he's probably going to cut something. I feel like that's usually the extent of his plans.
Daring today, sir, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Boy, that branch really does look like a dick, huh? Wow, that's...
It's not even trying to hide it. Which, you know what? It's Oda, so...
Zach said up the shaft earlier, and I didn't know if that was a little Freudian slip or on purpose.
It was a joke. It was on purpose.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was shocked no one picked up on it, but I guess you did. Good. And then I went back to Branch. I'm like, okay, this isn't reading.
Looking at the Nidhogg, I'm really excited to see, like, I don't know if we're going to have to get to a point where everybody's at the end of their rope. But, you know, as One Piece arcs tend to go, Luffy, you know, comes in at the nick of time and, you know, and saves people. I'm just imagining him riding Loki all the way up, like if Loki's flying,
like Momonosuke, like when
yeah.
So like the same exact thing.
Yeah, Dragon Rider, like that seems like his MO these days.
Yep.
Yeah,
but this time a Western dragon. What was the name of those again? They're starts with a W, right?
Wyvern.
Wyvern.
No, that like depends on like how many limbs and like arms and bullshit like that.
I can't.
Nidhogg is a Norse dragon. So let's.
And by the way, to answer your question from 20 minutes ago, it could be Nidhogg or Nidhogger, but Nidhogger is the one in One Piece.
Sure.
So
sounds.
We're all right.
We're all right. We're all right, everybody. I don't know what else to say about this chapter. Usopp really living his best life, of course. Oh, yeah, I wanted to talk about the layout of the page. That spread that has, like, Gunko and Summers and Killingham on it.
Yeah.
Everybody's in their own little box, and everybody has their own little background. This is a real lovely page. I kind of love that... I love what's happening with the background here. I don't think I've seen it before. I don't think I've seen Oda do this, where it sort of has this hazy look on it.
It's like a color spread. I feel like that's where he's done this kind of paneling.
Mm-hmm. It's nice. It's really cool. I lament Killingham's goofy ass look.
I'm glad someone said this. Yeah,
I hate it so much.
It's really awful.
It sucks. It really sucks. Guys.
Why did he do this? Well, it does make me want to see him punched in the face more. So there's that.
That's true. He was too lovable looking before.
He was too lovable.
Never
looking.
mind.
Would I get a Killingham figure?
Head? What's the
just the head.
It's just did you like it better when it was just the dragon?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Kyrian.
He was like weird, goofy looking dragon man, and now he's like Centaur man.
Now he's like, look at me. I'm,
He's got I don't know, boilerplate Bishonen face. I don't know.
Yes. For Oda, at least, yeah.
Yeah, so keep them coming, Oda. I'm glad that there's no break next week.
Jill.
Yeah, I mean, nothing I really disliked. This is a fine chapter. Bunch of going over stuff that, coming back from the flashback. And then it's also literally Jarl going over stuff that the Giants wouldn't know that we learned during the flashback. But yeah, I also really liked that spread of the three of them. I thought it looked really cool with how much most of the page was pretty washed out and more grayscale, and then they were like the three dark splotches there. So I liked that a lot. But yeah, not really a ton to say on this one. Just here's my idea with Zoro's plan. I imagine it involves the sword in Yaru's head.
Whoa! Oh,
that's what I'm thinking.
But you might be right. But oh no, did he know about the sword? He did, right? Like he was there when they were talking about that.
So
where are they? They're behind Dory and Brogy, right? Yeah, that's what it looks like. Also,
yeah, but he's met him. He knows there's a sword there.
So I was trying to think of logistics. So where Sanji is he with like? They're all together, right? Like Zoro is not alone with Hiruden here. It's just we've only seen the two of them for whatever reason. But who left with... So Goldberg and Gerd left to find Bjorn with Rodo.
So there's no...
Stanson
no
is still...
with them, right?
No. So it's
Stanson is with Hyruden and Zoro.
Yeah. And you see them. And Sanji was with... Who was Sanji and Kaban with? They were on... Oh, they were on Stanson. Yeah, I mean, earlier when they were on the lift, I don't see why they would move.
Right. And I guess Chopper is with them, too.
Well, Gerd had Mystery Yacht, had Gabon and Chopper. And they would probably want to go back to the kids as well.
Yes.
So they probably went with Gerd, but we don't see them because
Sanji's gonna go to the library. And I'm guessing, and I'm guessing Kashi is going with him. It feels like to me that I wonder if every member is going to have a giant counterpart to do
make it easier to follow, I'll say that. I think Chopper is going back to where he was before, I think, because he needs to help defeat, he wants to bring Gabon there so that they could get rid of, the immortality aspects, because that was like the reason he chased after Gabon. So that's my assumption. Sanji said he wants to go to the school.
Ripley, Frankie's with Ripley,
believe it or not, yes.
Okay, so
no, who was with Frankie was yeah
but
Frankie
we don't see with Ripley. We don't see him in this chapter.
Yeah, it's annoying because we see the giants that they are with, but not the Straw Hats, which is
well, he can get away. Oda can get away with not drawing him because he's tiny compared to them.
I know,
Frankie's
but
not that tiny compared to them. But
I know, but it's about them. It should be about it's about the Straw Hats. Yeah.
I know, but in a point in the story with giants, and they're the biggest things around,
Okay. Jill, anything else? Yeah, sorry.
No. I'm sorry.
Jill.
No, I'm good.
Well, Alex, what were you going to say?
I'm going to wait until you go because we might say the same thing.
I don't have a lot. There's one point, and I'll save it for the end of just my quick synopses. I agree and disagree with Golfer's blank space thing. I think generally that is true for the chapter, but there are moments like the very first panel of the chapter, which, to be fair, the assistants did a ton of work, but also Oda probably literally drew 2 lines and that little dot there, but it does breathe a little bit. I actually think the page Golfer did is the quietest. The first one, the 6 to 7 with the Nidhogger kind of front and center. I thought it was interesting for what is a recap chapter and what this needed to happen. I get it. I think it was executed as well as it could be, this kind of chapter. I was shocked to see 3 2-page spreads in this chapter. Because Oda does generally tend to use those in big moments, and not saying that it's undeserving. I was just surprised. It felt like Oda was really trying to, despite the fact that there's tons of exposition in this because they have to catch readers up, because it's been, for Shonen Jump readers, it's been more than half a year since they've heard these facts. He's really trying to build the drama up as much as he's able to. Does he succeed? Sometimes, I'm probably fall somewhere between you guys. I think it was a good chapter, but I think part of it, and Golfer, this may also be you've officially joined the weekly club and the dissecting club and the I think when you're in the trenches, this feels like more of a waste of time sort of chapter versus when you're a casual, I won't say casual reader, when you're a reader that isn't dissecting every little tiny thing all the time. This probably, I'm 100% sure this was a necessary chapter. And I know that because every guest we had on during the flashback completely forgot what was happening before. And you know what? We forgot what was happening before a lot of the time. So I get it. But it also feels absolutely ridiculous listing out these people's power and all this other powers and all this other stuff. It really feels like you're trying to explain a really ridiculous movie to someone who didn't get a chance to see it with no context.
I've been curious if he's trying to put it in our faces as we've learned about the ideas of devil fruits and like coming from people's dreams, like how abstract these three's powers feel in comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Where, like, because you can imagine so many other things, like, oh, I'd love to be the sun god, right? The slaves dreaming of becoming the sun god, or
Yeah.
I'd just like to be strong or weigh a gajillion pounds and land on people. Like, there's so many devil fruits you can imagine. I can imagine bringing dreams to life, bringing nightmares to life feels like the opposite of what somebody would dream for a devil fruit. And then the thorns, you could create some Shakespearean romantic reasoning for that one. And then the arrow fruit, like the concept of it, of like leading everyone where you want them to go, like without physically touching them, but like the gesture of doing it. Like, we've never got the Gorasays. They don't have devil fruits. They just had those powers. They may end up being devil fruits, but I feel like that was like a, hey, remember these guys have really funky powers, and I've never put a devil fruit's name. Or did it specifically say blank,
No, I don't think
blank,
they did.
no me?
No. No me, no... No me, no said that. No me, no me. Yeah.
No, yeah, they have... It was basically just, here's their thing.
Yeah.
There was no fruit power thing, which is very interesting. Very interesting.
By the way, the name of the teacher, since I know everyone has been yelling, I somehow heard them from the future. Angie. Or Anja.
Anya.
Anya. You know, I made the mistake, the Hiruden mistake. Anya.
Or is it was with a G or a
A-N-G-E.
J?
A-N-G, yeah.
Oh, then it is Anja. Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I
Manja.
swear the English
Manja.
dub of the anime called him Hajruden and not Hyruden. I could be 100% wrong in misremembering that, but
that might be true.
I believe that's why it stuck in my head.
It's Shabandi versus Sabaody all over again. Yeah.
Don't make me no.
I just like making Alex angry. So the one substantive thing I wanted to touch on at the end here. I mean, first I did want to say that I think I agree with everyone. The highlight of the chapter was the Jarl stuff. It was, I think, a really great capstone to the entirety of that flashback. The one thing I want to touch on, besides when are we going to the astral world, is, because I have to ask that every week, is the last line on page 15 that Jarl says, if the world is destined to be split in two, as the Hurley's prophecy suggests, will be the enemy of the world government. But so I'm looking back at 1138, everyone's favorite 2 pages about the 3 worlds. I'm trying to I'm like trying to think if there's something specific about all of that says that the world is going to be like thrust into. There's discussion about the half moon, which obviously got my attention at the time. I mean, I could reread these again. It has been a very long time, but I also don't want to bore you guys with reading this for like for now. I'm just like trying to even. What did you think, Alex? Because that was on your mind as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a detail that I didn't think was confirmed, because when we see the Harley, it's just like, here it is. Talk amongst yourselves for 7 months or however long
it continues.
It's been. Yeah, and without any sort of explanation as to, what anybody's interpretation of it was. So, destined to be split in two. Now here's where Steven could have come in to talk a little bit more about how he translated that. But
you
do you know
him
what?
If you want.
I could no. It's fine.
I'll ping him.
Okay, ping him, because I'm sure that they'll talk about this on this. This seems like an ping him right now. But I feel like this seems like a thing that'll definitely get covered on a future SGS, where like I can see Greg just going through the chapter and be like, well, this is a pretty fine chapter, but this stuck out to me. And if the world is destined to be split in two, so like,
Do you want me to read? I want to read the third world, like the last one. I don't want to read everything because as fun as it is.
Read the third world thing.
Yeah.
But
Third
I
world,
think it is interesting that like the tree and the Harley splits it, right? So maybe is that the two worlds that are being split? Like what is?
Yeah, we've had a lot of discussions on that
because I
specifically.
don't think that we've talked about that as a possibility.
Oh, we must have. We talked about those panels for a very long time in 2 separate episodes.
I'm actually now worried that we're gonna go another hour talking about the fucking
I'll keep it short because there's not much to say about it. Beyond like having a lot of hypothetical situations. But the third world is what we generally assumed describes the current storyline. So I'll read. So this is after. I'm going to read the end of the second world just so you get context. Those of the half moon dreamed, those of the moon dreamed. Man killed the sun and became God, and the sea gods stormed, and they will never meet. That's the end of the second world. Third world. Within the chaos there was emptiness. The inconvenient remnants recall the promised day and hear the voice of the half moon. The sun god dances and laughs. That's what he does. Guiding the world to its end. The sun returns and brings a new morning, and they will surely meet.
Every time I pull up this panel, I end up just staring at it. And
I know.
It feels like it's so clear and then just so mysterious at the exact same time.
Yeah, like it's like looking at something very familiar, but also like done in a way that is you can't really put heads or tails to it. Yeah. Like you could put for every pictograph in this, you could like, okay, this probably means that, but then how does it all fit together? You know, like that's, and what does it have to do specifically with the text that we see, and how does that relate to it?
Is Frankie blocking anything? That's what I've always been wondering. Is he blocking one specific thing that might unlock a little bit more?
Oh, 100%. Also, it's a kid's drawing, so, you know, maybe it's just completely inaccurate and we're just making a big deal out of it for no reason. No, it's like, I was like, for those who haven't listened to our SGS from last week, Greg and Steven talk specifically about the meaning of D, and Elbaf is D, that line from the last chapter of the flashback. But then, and they were saying that D might just be as simple as meaning devil or demon, kind of, you know, or as that kind of term was passed down, and then it was, you know, taken on as something to be owned, you know, once an insult, now, you know, being taken as their own thing. But reading this, the half moon thing, the pictograph thing with the D comes back to mind. Like a half moon looks like a D, therefore that's at least a descriptor of what D is. Yeah, that doesn't really answer any questions for me. I don't know, or again, the whole thing is everyone interprets it differently. Like that was one of the big things about the Harley. So like the world destined to be split in two could have been like a discussion of the second world, or could just be a different interpretation, or could be a interpretation. That's why I'm interested in the translation notes, Alex. Is it like the destruction of this world and a second world that starts a second world, a new world?
I mean, it's very possible Steven's just going to come back and be like, "Oh yeah, I just translated it literally." Like that's
It's as mysterious as it seems.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's the last thing I want to mention.
But it's a good thing to mention, and that's kind of what I wanted to bring up, and I totally forgot. So I'm glad that you said something.
I figured that was the thing you're referring to. Also, look, on that same page, Walrus Guy is back, the one who looks like he's from a Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
Well, thank God.
He was in the castle when Gunko and Shamrock showed up, I believe. Oh, no, and he was in Egghead. I love that guy. I don't know his name. I should probably check. Probably. I might. That's it for the manga recap, unless anyone has any other thoughts. I guess not. And the name of that giant was... This is the Piece Together segment where we take questions, comments, theories, whether or not you're a slut for Elbath. We're going to start with Discord from our Patreon subscribers. You too could be a Patreon subscriber at patreon.com/OnePiecePodcast. Alex, please take it away with
Dispiece. This is, of course, Dispiece. We get on Discord and have to read what you send us, for the most part. We don't actually have to. Yeah, it's if it's... You guys know the drill.
Please.
Anyway, here's Slake or Salad.
oh, wow, deep cut for us. Yes.
Hey, it's Slay. We all know Slay, who says, "Hello, my fellow devils. It's my birthday, so you legally have to answer my dispiece. I don't make the rules. Now, I gotta say, initially when reading chapters lately, and I start hearing people mentioning past events, I do get this paranoid feeling for a split second that there will be more of the flashback, which also tickles me to think about, since it won't happen. Thinking of how the flashback pivoted to the God Valley one, which some feel gave off the vibe of a detour, what flashback would you like to see on something niche in the One Piece world that would tickle your fancy? Like a Senior Pink one, for example. Like, how did a Rolumbus become so great at being organized? Or an in-depth into what Pearl's experience was like growing up in a jungle. Thanks, and have a great week."
Thank you, Casey Kasem.
Have a great week. I can just do this as
Casey just do it as Casey Kasem. What are you doing?
Schley, happy birthday. And speaking of birthdays, number 39 on our list.
Okay, good job, Alec.
On the charts is "Birthday" by the Beatles. There we go.
We don't have the money to play that.
No, we don't.
Few people
Nobody could afford it.
Few people do. The question was what
niche flashback,
like a weird side character flashback that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Rocky Port would be a pretty easy one to say, I guess, but I don't care about that so much.
Well, it would have to be something you don't really care about, right?
It'd be sort of niche, right?
Yeah.
Like,
or that you don't expect to care about. I would love to see Kureha's backstory more.
Ooh,
I think that'd be fun. I think
we
we might actually get some of that, not gonna lie, so we'll see.
We may. Now, can you get a little further than just backstory? Like, is there an element of her backstory that you want to see? Because I think that's what Slay is sort of fishing for here.
Golfer,
out of the 4 or 5 times I've been on the One Piece podcast, I've brought up I so badly want to see Fujitora's backstory of the Aoi Kingdom, because my headcanon is that CP9 or CP0 started the civil war that turned him into a war criminal because the world government wants his devil fruit power to lift something out of the ocean. And that's like the obscure, how did he end up in prison as a war criminal in his own kingdom? And what was the war about? What were they divided over? What happened to the kingdom after? Does it even still exist to this day? Has it been Leluciad? Like, I could go on forever because his character's so interesting. What made him the character he is? What did he see that forced him to blind himself? And like, how does that carry on with his character? And then the one time I brought it up, Steven shot me down so fast.
Well,
he's like, you're never seeing that. Like,
yeah, tell me if this was how he shot you down, because it was what I was gonna say. Like, I 100% agree that that's a fantastic idea, premised on that. Unfortunately, we saw it described in the SBS, and therefore we're probably never going to see it. Is that what he said?
I'm fairly certain that's how he said it, but it was I get
so
full of hope thinking about it.
I can't do a Steven impression.
He'd be like, "Oh no, we're not seeing that."
Yeah, well,
I think that's exactly how he said it.
I agree
that's
with
my
you.
Dream.
I could see that is like in a novelization, or like I could see him drawing something like that for the magazine, or maybe he like goes back and actually decides. Like, it's never 100%. It's just once he describes something in an SBS like that, the way he did, it usually doesn't end up transpiring in the manga itself. But again, I'm often wrong. So
The hope is he would get more adventurous, like with letting Boichi do Ace's backstory, which I can't remember if it's 100% canon. I believe it is, but
canon-esque.
Having a series of stuff like that where you let other people fill in those gaps.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
Yeah, I just wouldn't let Boichi do it.
No, I would definitely not let Boichi do it. My answer to this question would be, I would want something a la Noland in that it was a completely different time. Like, if we're going to get a tangent, I want to see something completely freaking different. Like,
yeah,
obviously space is always great. But I mean, like, 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, 5,000, like, I want to, and we will. And, like, this is something I'm confident is going to happen, that we're going to see something of that era. But even completely unrelated to anything else, like, you talk about Kureha, like, that's a great example of something from, like, 100 years ago. But even, like, Jarl having a flashback would probably be really interesting. We got, like, a hint of his backstory here being this, like, big pirate 300 years ago. Remember, that's only one pirate generation removed. Giant generation removed from the Void Century, really. Maybe two. Like, Yaro's grandfather or grandmother probably lived in the Void Century. Like, it's not that. So, that kind of stuff would be fun.
I would like to see a Sarfunkel flashback. How
yes,
she
of course you would.
barrel?
Yeah, of course you would.
No, I'm with you, actually. I recently rewatched the Gaimon episode, and I was thinking, how'd that happen?
The Orlumbus series I would like to see, but I want it to be like 2-minute short video, like anime videos with like low budget animation.
Like
Bananya.
Yeah,
like Bananya. With like a really serious narrator or something. Or a cutesy narrator, as you see Orlumbus like organizing his life. There are some really fun, or like even
Columbus would be the one narrating that, I think. It's a cute little girl.
Or you could do it like Tokugawa's Middle Management Blues. Not Tokugawa, that's the shogunate. Tonegawa.
It's a very different type of series.
I feel like you could do some really fun stuff with that. Yeah, what's next, Alex?
Next is Big Mike, who throws a classic sort of SBS question at us. And he writes, if the Straw Hats lived in Springfield during Abe Simpson's union-busting days, what kind of onion would they wear on their belt? Which was the style at the time.
Okay, thanks for the Simpsons reference. We don't do those here.
No, I would say Vidalia, because that's an onion.
Oh, God, I don't know different types of onions that well. Scallion is an onion?
A bloomin' onion.
Bloomin' onion.
Does a shallot count? Yeah,
shallot's part of the onion family.
Is there a meaty type of onion that Luffy... Well, if he were it, he wouldn't eat it. That's the problem.
Vidalias are kind of meaty.
The onion from Holes that's really sweet?
Oh, yeah. Or how about just onion from Usopp's Village?
Oh, there you go. Or great. Onion from... Wasn't there another onion? Or no, I'm thinking of
Steven
carrot.
Universe?
No, okay. Okay, go to the next one.
Steven Universe has a whole family named after onions. Anyway.
Anyone in Dragon Ball named after onions? There must be.
There has to be.
No, I don't think so.
Really?
It would be something like Onion or whatever.
It would maybe like one of the
Vegeta is just Vegeta. Like
one of the non-canon Saiyan characters is named after an onion, perhaps.
Saiyan, which I know is the correct pronunciation with Haruden and
no,
I know
Saiyan
it is right.
Technically,
I know you're being the technically correct person right now, so I'm just making fun of you.
There's a spin-off manga with a Saiyan named Unyo, apparently, according to Kirby in the chat.
Thank you, Kirby.
Oh, it's in Nekomajin Z.
Oh, okay. God, you even say Zed. What are you, from a different country? I wish we all were, but whatever.
I'm not, but
no, I just felt like being.
I like being.
Was the style at the time? I know,
to anime,
and I
which
appreciate
I pronounce
it.
anime and not anime.
It's Japanimation. Is the correct
Japanimation?
Yep.
That's right.
Yep. Manga.
XX _ live action Robin fan _ cram _ XX says
those things used to work in the 90s, the screen names. Or early
Yes,
aughts,
that's right.
I guess.
Yeah, if we're on IRC.
Your Zanga?
Xbox Live. I had
Xbox
those.
Xbox Live. That's a good Xbox,
Xbox
Live name,
Live.
yeah.
How OPP banger chapter as always. I won't fix the typo from the start of this piece. It's funny. Okay. While this is a fairly standard transition chapter to remind us of the stakes and set us up for the action, it's a damned cool one. Jarl's speech is genuinely incredible and pumped me up so much when I read during a break at the gym. I'm trying to pretend that Killingham wasn't sexy again. It didn't happen. Nope, not at all. Also really interesting that Brooke went missing. Presumably he's going to try and bring Gunko back from the brink? My question this week, though, is a two-parter. What's Zoro's plan, and are y'all as scared as me that Zoro claims to have a plan? Because, oh God, who gave this meathead the idea that he can plan? Have a great weekend. Hurt.
That's the first thing that entered my mind. Like,
Plan.
this guy...
The only your plans are sword. Like that is
That's it.
It's gonna be the same thing. They're just gonna throw him again. Like he's got one plan and it works.
toss me.
I'm
The
not
only
saying it
question
won't
I
work,
have-
but yeah, go ahead.
Is the question is, like, with that backstory or with the flashback, how much of it was Loki like actually explaining to them that the way that Garp and Roger defeat Rocks is with a gigantic Conqueror's hockey? He's like, we need so much Conqueror's hockey. And then Zoro's like,
That's
I'm
what you're
aware I
saying.
have it now. How big of a slash do I need to send to get these people back on our side?
I think 0%. Actually,
Yes.
Yeah.
that was the narrator breaking into Loki's backstory about the day that Harold died to tell us all about God Valley. That was Oda just being like, hold on.
We got to get to it at some point.
like the middle of a Monty Python sketch that's getting too silly.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Graham Chapman comes in and we have to know about God Valley now, don't we?
Oh my
And
god. Now I
yeah.
wish Oda had that accent. A little bit. Not a lot. What's next, Alex?
Sailor Karna is next, who says, "Hey OPP, this week's chapter was great. Jarl's speech was the highlight. He doesn't know that Loki has been freed, but knows that Elbaf will not fall. I'm excited for the rest of the chapter."
Cool.
Concur.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Wait.
And Reverse Hedgehog says, One Piece Podcast. What is Zoro's plan? Is he going to trap, crush, or eat any of the giants or knights? Can we boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew? Does Goldberg intend to bring Vor back into our beloved manga?
Wow, I forgot he's the cook. I keep forgetting that.
A lot of Lord of the Rings
Well-
this week.
Yeah, what are the odds? I mean, there are plenty of gigantic creatures to swallow anybody.
You know
whole.
what this reminds me
So-
of? That Luffy's big plan with the sword in Wano was to throw it at them or like punch while holding it.
So good.
Yeah, I feel like the equivalent for someone who knows how to use a sword. But that's like where my brain is. Alex, here's my question. Do you think it's going to be played for laughs or played for like impact, like for or both?
I
Or
think it's
neither.
going to be really cool. Like, whenever Zoro does something, it's usually because it's cool and not because it's like a funny thing that happens. Like, it's going to be like kind of ridiculous, but I think it's just going to be like, well, here's Zoro doing a cool thing. Is people call that aura farming now?
I mean, it's
Is
just
that-
traditionally fan service. Aura farming is like
Yeah, that's a
more
different
standing still, hitting a good
Okay.
pose. But I imagine it's like
Zoro did that
traditional
too
fan
in Little
service.
Garden. So
Yeah.
yeah, he knows.
I guess I'm just too old to
Should I name the podcast
To-
episode that?
to understand why we have to call things different things now.
That is being too old.
When I was
Slang,
Yeah,
man.
like,
That's the onion thing. Because in your day you used to tie an onion
aura
on the
farming,
belt.
I would just aura farming. Back in my day, we called that just looking cool, looking like a brick shithouse. Like that's
I think if I recall, the term also is about
aura farming sounds like something you do in Dota or something, right? Like
correct me if I'm wrong, Golfer.
For an MMO.
But isn't it like also our youth consultant here? Sorry. Isn't it also like kind of that people are looking only for when they watch a media, they're like when they watch media, they're looking just for that kind of thing. They're looking for the cool and not necessarily the substantive.
Call it hype moments and aura.
Yeah.
For a frame of reference, it's like the pinnacle of aura farming is when Piccolo's standing on that spire and the cape is just flapping. And then what really felt like it kicked it off, the term was around, but it was like, yeah, Piccolo, we see the fit. Like, it's true. That's kind of the idea of it, is like, how cool can you make this character look in a panel? And then when it's translated to the anime, you add the music and the lighting and everything.
But I think there's a difference between like those moments, I think, are generally objectively cool or fun or whatever they are. I think it's when you're like, hyping it, like when you're like so focused on that little like micro thing and that everything else doesn't really matter. It's like we used to complain about power scalers. I feel like that's really old school at this point compared to like all the things that have happened since. But it's that like you can enjoy it for what you want to enjoy it for. We're not gatekeeping.
No, correct.
Yeah.
No. Anybody can enjoy whatever. Like, look, I'm not going to yuck your yum. I just like...
I am.
I just like posturing. Being like, I'm old, things are different.
Yes.
But things aren't really that different.
No, it's actually pretty damn
It's just
similar.
the names we use for them.
Yes, it's the names, yeah.
The only difference is people are reading all of their manga off of TikTok slideshows where somebody else is reading it to them. That's the problem. And then they're having AI make the manga panels move for them.
No!
People Alex said zoom in on Zoom was perfect. I wish that we could.
I'm dying!
Yeah, reading is slowly becoming a lost art.
I was gonna say,
dude, that sucks. I
Alex,
had no idea.
Take a step back.
TikTok should go away. I mean, if that's how you make your money, that's cool. Don't worry.
Well, I call for
I just mean,
but
social media is bad. Everybody.
Well,
it's
TikTok
bad.
has gotten significantly worse somehow recently, which I'm sure Golfer could also touch on if he wants.
We don't need to get into that.
That's how I was going to.
Like a whole
what
can
I
of
was
worms.
gonna. That is literally a whole can of worms, maybe. But what I was gonna say is, yes, that is bad. However, the way we consumed manga in the early aughts, where it was accessible, was not great either. Let's not forget Tanchi Hato to Flamingo or whatever, like all the
whatever
really
they had
bad
on manga screener.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There was, I'm going to say, there has been a little golden age of how to read the manga that existed between those two things. And to be fair, you can enjoy the manga in like the way it was intended to be enjoyed around the world right now, as I mentioned every show, for free, just about, everywhere in the world. At least the latest chapters are free, but like it's very easy to have a very upscale like I'm trying to think, not it's good. You could have a bougie experience with One Piece if you want. You could like really read it the way it was intended to be read. I'm trying to like think of an authentic experience for it. But you could also read it with AI and TikTok if you really want, I guess, but just note that the series that person is reading and the series that we're talking about probably have some factual differences to them because they're absorbing things translated differently and adapted differently. And also AI sucks. Big time. Generally.
You said bougie, and I
don't know if
got
that's
this
right
like this like ping like in Akira when his head starts to hurt of when they inevitably release the large format versions of One Piece and they're $100 a volume, but I'm gonna want every single one of them.
100%.
That's me with Vagabond right now, and like every time I go to Kino and I see it, I'm like, I have to have it.
I've been thinking of the FMA ones too, like because I know FMA has those big ones, or the 20th Century Boys re-release. But One Piece, I really, if anyone from Viz is listening, like please release those with like the updated terms for everything, like Zoro with an R, like God in Skypiea, all that stuff. And
has Steven ever discussed that on this show? Was that like was he doing that when they changed and then changed back, or was that before his time?
Which thing, Zorro, or
going from, because didn't they? It started out as Zolo, and then they switched to Zorro.
His time. Yeah,
right. So and then they switched, and then they switched back, if I remember correctly.
No, so they only okay. I'll do this as brief as I can, but so in the early aughts, Viz first got the manga before 4Kids, I believe, started. Alex, please correct me if I'm wrong with any of this. And they started as Zorro in like the first editions for a few of the volumes. When the 4Kids version came out to match that, they reprinted those with the incorrect Zolo for that volume. The after that, and generally, the team behind One Piece has valued consistency above all, especially considering its length, which I get. We've had the editor Alexei Kershaw to talk about this before, a long time ago. It's to be fair though. We've had Steven on talking about this before, but the way it seems right now is the situation you describe is probably the only way we're going to see like a perfect quote unquote edition of One Piece, like an updated, a modernized translation. So like it was adapted for, this series has been going on for almost 30 years. So it was adapted in a completely different age. I think we can now say like a different generation. And it really is reflected, unfortunately. And I think Steven will be the first to say that the stuff in the style guide that they have to follow is not necessarily the choices he would be making, but again, consistency has kind of been king, unfortunately. Often unfortunately, not always, but I will say, if you're listening and you're interested in seeing that kind of thing, which everyone should be, the best way to do it is to make some noise and let Viz and Shueisha know that is something you want to purchase. I sure do. That's the bougie. Those are the bougie versions of the One Piece manga I look forward to. That was the last of the disc pieces, right, Alex?
That's right.
We have one Blue Skypiea, I believe, and one from our other news segment, which I'll get to. And I think they're both from the same person, but I'll ask him. What does that mean? Ice Fisher Tenacity says Goldberg's suggestion of eating the HK of God, that stands for, wait, I know what that stands for. No, I don't know. It stands for like something in the Japanese translation that I don't know, that Steven knew last week. And any idea, Alex?
The HK of God?
Yeah. Hong Kong of God.
I mean, whenever I think HK, I'm like, oh yeah, the HK DVDs.
Yeah. Is either brilliant, since that's how Big Mom got her devil fruit powers, allegedly, or a surefire way to get eviscerated from the inside out. Don't know what that. Anyway, I'm curious if everyone's predicted the final chapter for Elbaf has changed. Shit, that is good that they brought this up, because I completely forgot. When did we do this? And I also need to get Golfer's prediction, which we might have to get new rounds for everyone. Yeah. We'll see.
Are we guessing date, or are we guessing
chapter.
Or chapter number?
By the way, to give you an idea, Golfer, the last time, so we for Egghead, I think we had to like redo this, but at the beginning of every arc, we try and predict what number chapter will end the arc. To give you an idea, we did this in September 2024. But I ask on a rolling basis, so some people have a very big advantage. So let's see what we got. We are currently in context 1172. Friends of the show, Brian said 1245. Joey said 1170. Sorry, you were out, Joey. Cohen, who hasn't been on in a while, 1351. Chica also hasn't been on in a while, 1285. Jill, you said 1203. You're still in the running. Steve said 1192. Jammer said 1177. Mel said 1199. Steven said 1195. Alex, you said 1184. This better end soon. You got 12. You got 12 chapters. That's not actually
Speed
completely unreasonable.
I don't know if this can end in 12 chapters.
I don't think so.
See.
Ed said 1175, so he's almost there. I purposely set a very high number, 1227, totally possible, in my opinion.
I think my problem is that, like, we did this before the flashback became the biggest flashback in all of One Piece.
Dude, we did this before. So let me give you the episode.
A huge flashback.
The title of the episode, there's no Alf and Luffy. I think this was like right before the 24 election to like give you kind of an idea where we were. It was the very beginning. It was the Legoland stuff. That's where we were predicting this.
Oh yeah, I was on a bit during that. I remember.
Golfer, what would your number be for... We do Price is Right rules, the closest without going over.
I was going to say 1200 because I know we have a big fight coming up with Luffy against Emu, but this isn't the fight, so it can't be that long. But has Oda... have we had a fight under 20 chapters?
A fight?
Since Wano? Like, I guess Luffy versus the Gora say I'd count as one fight. Granted, that had like a lot of disparate pieces going on at the same time, but...
Oh, no, you're right. Well, it's complicated because when a quote-unquote fight happens, there's often 8 million other things also happening. Like the Katakuri is a good example. That one is like half the arc, but it's not actually half the arc is him fighting Katakuri, because that would be extremely boring to watch for half an arc. Unless you're an aura farmer. Brought that around.
I just thought Dennis from SpongeBob was really cool, so I really liked watching that fight.
Okay.
Wait.
No? You have the... Steve needs to... Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to find... we're going to our newest segment, MooTube. Our YouTube questions and comments.
That's a Pokemon.
That's a Pokemon. From the same person. What? Let's sort by maybe. Oh no, we have 2. First one comes from Alex Myron 15, who says, "Hey OPP, been listening since around early-ish Wano." That's a long time. That's almost 10 years, isn't it? And wanted to share the long shot theory I've been building for a while now. Sorry, this is a bit of a long one. I did not click that show more thing before I should have. It's about Brooks and Gunko. I'm going to probably have to make it a little more succinct. It's about Brooke and Gunko's relationship. Isn't parent and child or princess and knight, but husband and wife. But she was a little kid in the thing. Yeah, I don't think that. Anyway, let's find out. Let's find out together. Hold on. I don't know. I haven't read this, clearly.
Come aboard and find out.
Now I know that there isn't much solid textual evidence for this, but let me start my case with a reminder that Elbaf has had an unprecedented focus on husbands and wives. Harold and Ida, Zabek and Eris, Ray and Shaki, Scopper and Ripley. Now I know that the very short Gunko flashback we've seen would appear to be hard evidence against this. However, I think the focus on Gunko's eye before and after the single panel of Brooke with the little girl, I think it's signaling that Gunko is seeing that panel as a vision, a memory she had forgotten, a memory of Brooke playing with their daughter. After all, this feels like an extra step complicated, personally, but I also am often wrong, as I mentioned. But let me continue. After all, the Giants have already declared that mothers are a power even they can't stand up against, so why shouldn't the main antagonist be a mother? Gunko certainly seems set up to be treated as Brooke's biggest fan, and Oda knows firsthand that children are rarely enthralled by their parents' work. Okay, that's a good reasoning. Your daughter being your biggest fan? Cringe. Unrealistic. Your wife being your biggest fan? Supportive, sweet, and makes her declaration she wants to put you in a cage and ensure you only play music for her a little romantic. And with the escalating tragedy of recent flashbacks, including attempted and off-panel child murder, Oda can't top himself without killing a kid right in front of us. While Gunko needs that level of maximum drama and tragedy to earn the audience's sympathies against her past and present actions. And finally, arc themes and drama aside, Brooke can't ask to see Gunko's panties without it being awful any other. He doesn't have to ask.
Yeah, they're right there, actually.
She doesn't like pants. Thanks for all of the years of entertainment and insight into One Piece. Hopefully I've built more intrigue than disbelief and dismay with this one. It started out scary. I think you kind of saved yourself at points. I still don't personally buy it, but I don't know if any of you purchasing this theory?
Nope. Sorry, I am really hoping that's not quite the relationship there.
Same.
Just, I know Oda's kind of, Oda's got his age differences in some of these characters, but you just try not to think about it.
I mean, the idea that she was thinking of their daughter together in that one panel is the only thing that makes this theory, I think, possible. However, I still think I will always be an Occam's razor, supporter. Like, it's the simplest answer is usually the correct one. And that feels like an extra level too complicated. However, Oda sometimes likes extra complicated, so
I don't think Oda's gonna give Brooke a secret wife. Like, I think that kind of goes against everything he's ever said about relationships with the crew.
I feel like that would have also come up in his backstory, like with how kind of longing Brooke is to see Laboon again. You'd think it'd come up.
I miss Laboon. Have I ever mentioned my wife to you guys? Miss her too.
I always thought it was like a Luffy Shanks thing, like just a distant admiring of she thought he was cool because he played really great music kind of thing. Like even as a kid before, he even becomes who he becomes.
That's the part of this I'm most excited for, actually, is Brooke and Gunko's relationship. I think that's the most interesting thing that's happening right now.
Agreed. I agree with that. Last question comes from Ice Fisher Tenacity, once again, but it's a shorter one. Would you like to see Bonnie adjust the ages of Gabon, Jarl, and or Colin into their fighting primes for this battle? Or is that just a pipe dream for the power scalers?
Yeah.
I almost forget Bonnie's there.
She's with Lilith, right?
Lilith.
They're just hanging out?
No, they're
watching YouTube?
Well, Frankie was with them too.
But then
wasn't
they
it
went
Frankie
separate
with
ways.
Ripley?
Frankie's with Ripley now. Are they still together? They might still be together.
Maybe.
And they might be. They met up. She was like building a laboratory, Lilith, with Bonnie.
And they were going to work on Kuma, I think was the big thing.
That was,
Bonnie,
we haven't seen it mentioned, but yeah.
Bonnie could use her powers on Gunko, make her into a little kid. Maybe Brooke would, I don't know, recognize her. I don't know how much of a role Bonnie's going to have in this. Obviously something.
I don't think
she's still there.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean she's going to have a role.
Yeah, but I mean,
but she could.
I don't know how big of a role, but she's physically there. I think something's going to happen. I doubt at the very end they're just going to be like, oh, hey. Yeah, we had a great time. We were watching Cocomelon.
I feel like if Oda wanted to lean into the comedy route, it would be she goes Gear 5 before Luffy goes Gear 5, and they all have the misinterpretation that she's the sun god. And
that's
Luffy
excellent.
doesn't even care to try and elaborate on it. Like he somehow moves through the island as Nika without them realizing it.
Fujitora flashback? Not happening. Oh, what is it? What's the one before Galaxy Brain? Fujitora flashback and then Galaxy Brain. Bonnie stealing the thunder there. That's great. That'll do it for Piece Together. Let's round off the show. This has been the One Piece Podcast episode 904 for February 2nd. Thank you all for coming on. Golfer, where can people find you?
Find me on YouTube and TikTok as Golfer Gare.
Alex, where can people find you?
I'm on Blue. Whoops, sorry. I think I accidentally hit the hit my one of my sound buttons. Hopefully that didn't come out.
Which sound was it?
The new type jingle from Gundam. The little. Anyways, you can find me on Blue Sky at Dude Exclamation. My alt account on there is Weeb Simpsons. I've been thinking about doing another one soon, so stay tuned, I guess.
I could tell you were at MagFest with Steve because you posted a new post on there. I'm
did.
Oh, this is a conversation he had with Steve.
What was it?
I don't even remember. It was.
I think we were talking about, I'm like, you know what? I had a drink or two. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make a new Weeb Simpsons right now. Yeah. And I did.
It was Dispatch. This is Chief Wiggum.
Oh yeah, because I was talking to my friend Matt about Brave Fencer Musashi.
Yeah.
And then we played it on my friend's Mister, and I was like, I'm gonna make a Reap Simpsons about this.
That was your first post in over a year.
Yeah.
We gotta get you drunk more.
I have a child.
There's a lot of parents who would say, and I am legitimately not one of those because I don't know how they do that. But
yeah. So yeah, Weeb Simpsons. Also, Super Art Fight has a Patreon, so go to patreon.com and search for Super Art Fight. That's it. Listen to the One Piece podcast.
Thank you. Finally, someone plugs us on our own show. Jill.
You can find me at Pirates Unluck on Blue Sky and on the Ultros World and Final Fantasy XIV as Pyrrha Unluck, as always.
You can find me at zachlogan.com. As I mentioned at the top of the show, I am on Quest for the Best this week talking about Orb on the Movements of the Earth, which is a great series that I highly recommend. I did a trivia for that, which I did not have time to actually do, so maybe next time I have Miles and Jeff on, maybe Golfer too, I'll do some of that. It's the nerdiest thing I've ever put together, and that says something. You could find us at onepiecepodcast.com, patreon.com/onepiecepodcast. We have an account on Twitter, but we are no longer using it, but you could check us out at Blue Sky, at onepiecepodcast.com, Instagram, technically Facebook. What other social media is there? We do not have a TikTok, and now I don't think that is something I'm going to be doing. And elsewhere. You could also subscribe, rate, and review us anywhere you get your podcasts. And last but not least, fuck ice, our usual call out, which
That's
fuck
right.
ice.
Yeah, Aokiji can go suck a dick.
Yeah, Kuzan, you heard that?
Yeah, Kuzan, eat shit.
Yeah, eat shit, Kuzan. God, what a dick. Such a cop. The one that quit. But seriously, yeah. And if you are able to, please support any of the important charities that are doing work. Particularly, I know there's a lot of Minnesota at this moment. Unfortunately, these things seem to evolve very quickly, so keep an eye out. Hopefully we'll post some stuff, and hopefully we could do our charity stream that we were planning on doing at the beginning of the year sometime later in the year this year, so we could support organizations like the National Immigration Legal God, and I'm trying to remember the full name. I'll put it on our description so I don't forget. That'll do it. We are going to be back next week with our recap of Manga Chapter 1173 and guest Isaiah Colbert. We'll see you then, everyone. My name is Zach.
And my name is Alex.
And big thanks to Ed. We'll see you next week, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.